Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first Nutrition Kitchen of 2026. I'm Giovanna Mosconi. I'm your chef, and I'd love to know who you are. Since this is a live segment, you can use the chat box to ask questions. Let's get started. Today, you're going to learn how to make a restaurant quality salad. Restaurant quality, not just some phony bologna salad. Restaurant quality salad. And here's the best part. It's super simple. It doesn't take much. So we need protein, especially if you did my class, Geolux. I am starving. It's lunchtime. We're going to have broiled salmon on a tricolor. In Italian, we would call this a tricolore salad. So we're going to get started. And here's my setup, and I'll explain as we go along. So for the salmon, for me, this might be enough for 2 people. This is about a little more than a half a pound. So I usually eat a half a pound. I factor a pound per person, and the fish purveyor kind of gave me a little more. So we'll see how hungry I am. So I cut it in half. Skin is still on it. I don't mind the skin. I think it gives it flavor. Here's the thing about my salmon. People say it's so good. I don't do anything to it. I'm almost like embarrassed to show you how easy this is. I have my oven on broil. The salmon's been sitting out about 30 minutes because I wanted to bring it to room temperature. I'm going to salt it, season it is the better word. So I'm just going to take it and generously pour some salt over my salmon, okay? Then I'm going to take some freshly ground pepper. I'm going to check out who's here in a bit. I'm so excited that it's working today. I love a pepper grinder. Get yourself a pepper grinder. Not only is it sexy, but I'm using whole black peppercorn and I'm grinding it. I could smell it. I love the texture. And I'm going to take some fresh herbs. I usually just use thyme, but because I have a few extra herbs, I have so many herbs in my house, I'm doing a combination of oregano, sage, thyme. You do you. We wouldn't put it over the fish, especially if we're broiling it. Why? They're going to burn. So I'm going to take my salmon. See how we have some shiny skin. That's how you know it's fresh. I'm going to answer questions about fish because I taste salmon all the time and it's not good. And there's reasons for that. So I want all your fish questions. I'm a huge salmon fan. Now see that? You can't even see it. It's going to infuse my salmon with flavor. Same thing. If I was doing tomatoes or onions, I put it underneath. Why put it on top in a broiler when it burns? And now I'm going to take my olive oil, generously drizzle it on. A common thing I see, it's not wrong. It's just flavor preference. I see people taking a lemon and squeeze it now. That's how I get a bitter taste to my salmon. Why would we do that when the lemon is so bright and vibrant? We're going to squeeze it at the end. So this is it. Parchment paper solely because it's easy cleanup. I love this pan. It was from a French man when I got married. He gave it to my husband and me. It's such a pretty pan. I'm sticking it in the oven. There's so many ways to do salmon. And if you stick with me on Nutrition Kitchen, we're going to learn some more. But this by far is my easiest, my go-to way, especially lunchtime when we need quick. I'm going to broil it for about 6 to 8 minutes because I don't like it too overcooked, okay? We're going to watch that. Now we have time to prepare our salad. So before we do that, let me just wipe off my cutting board. Remember, you always want to wipe off your cutting board as you go along. Otherwise, we can risk contaminating, especially when we work with raw food. So I'm going to turn this to my wood setting. Okay, who's here? Who's here? Let's take a look. I have a few people here. Hello, Heather, Kathy, David, Shannon, and Jenna. And I'm going to be looking at your questions. My Rosie loves the skin. Is Rosie a pet, Heather? Let us know who Rosie is. Love salmon with the skin. I can't bring myself to cook salmon without the skin. I mean, I'm okay without the skin too, but it's a matter of preference. So whatever floats your boat, my friends. My perfect salad. Here are the ingredients. Arugula. If you guys don't have arugula in your life, please consider buying this green. It is so fantastic. Notice mine is dry. I cleaned it beforehand. And when you clean arugula, you want to be really gentle because if you wash it harsh, it's going to wilt. It's like basil. Gentle. And then put it on paper towels and just let it dry. So I have beautiful arugula. Now, tricolore in Italian means 3 colors. This right here is our second color. It is Radicchio. So I'm not going to use all of this salad because it's just me. My husband loves this too. My hands are clean. Otherwise, I would never touch raw lettuce. That's how we contaminate. I'm going to add, see how pretty that looks? Right onto the salad. I like to chop it coarsely. I like the leaves big, matter of preference. Some people like a nice fine chopped salad. It depends on the day. And then here we go for the third. Now, you can do endive. If you can't find endive, fennel goes really well. So I'm going to add my endive to the salad. And this is my base. I would have loved to have avocado. I forgot to buy it. I thought I had it. We're going to add some tomatoes. But this is the base for the tricolore salad. Tricolore in Italian. I'm going to slice my tomatoes in half. If you remember, last year I showed you a little hack. I don't need the hack because I only have 5 tomatoes. But I love color. And tomatoes are so good for us. So I'm just going to quarter them and throw them into the salad. And I'm going to show you how to make a vinaigrette. So ladies and gentlemen, please use the chat box. How many of you, it's time to confess. How many of you commit a kitchen sin? It's a sin in Italy. How many of you buy bottled salad dressing? It's time to confess. I want to know. How many of you buy bottled salad dressing? Oh, nobody's talking. Anyone? Anyone here go to the store and buy bottled salad dressing? I didn't grow up with bottled salad dressing. I had no idea what it was until I went to my first friend's house and the parents were like, here, put some dressing on your salad. And I was like, whoa, this is heavy. I hated it, by the way. My taste buds, my palate wasn't used to it. So I'm going to just tell you, there's a lot of things about American culture I guess I can forgive. One of them is not bottled salad dressing. Why are we going to eat salad and combine it with a bottle of salad dressing that has as much sugar and calories as dessert? Doesn't it defeat the purpose? Instead, stop using the word dressing. We're not dressing anything. Vinaigrette. That's what we're going to learn today. The formula I'm going to teach you is so basic. Good, Kathy. I stopped buying bottled years ago, and homemade is so much better. It really is, and it's so easy. And what I'm showing you today can last in your fridge. So you make it, you put it in your fridge, and you just drizzle it on top. So let's learn my ratio. I did go to culinary school. There's different ratios that you can do, but this is classic vinaigrette. So I have for this vinaigrette today, and I'll be showing you more as Nutrition Kitchen goes along, but we're going to do an Italian vinaigrette. Olive oil. I really need to fill up my bottle. Balsamic vinegar. I like getting it from Modena. And we're going to do some Dijon mustard. So you need a teaspoon, a tablespoon, and if you're using a measuring cup, 1/4 of a cup. When you get used to making this dressing, you won't need to use these little measuring, but for the sake of the class, I want to be proper. I want to show you the proper ratio. So what we're going to do first is we're going to drop some diced garlic. This is optional. If you don't like garlic, do a shallot. Optional, you don't need it at all. And if you're saving the dressing, you wouldn't add this into the bottle. You would add the garlic as you prepare your salad a la minute, meaning at the moment. However, for today, I'm going to eat my dressing right away, okay, for tonight and tomorrow. So you put your garlic inside if you like it. It gives it a little extra kick. It's also very healthy. Now I'm going to take my balsamic vinegar. We're not going to put too much. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons. You can write this down. You're going to be using this, I promise. Write this down. Put it in your iPhone. 1, 2. 2 tablespoons of the balsamic vinegar from Modena. Modena is from northern Italy. A little fun fact about Modena. Who knows what famous opera singer was from Modena? I'll tell you in 2 seconds, but I want to see who my opera fans are. Shake up your Dijon mustard. You don't have to do the mustard, but it does give it a nice little thickening quality and adds a little kick. We're just doing a teaspoon of that. That's it. Teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Now, I don't add my olive oil in yet. Not yet. Now I'm going to add my salt. You could add fresh herbs. I usually add parsley. I usually add, I could do mint sometimes. It depends what I'm in the mood for or what I have. Fresh basil always works nice. And now I'm going to add some coarsely ground pepper. Okay, That's okay, Heather. You said you're sensitive to balsamic. Can you use lemon? What about red wine vinegar? I know a lot of people sensitive to garlic. Our friend Elisa, who's Italian, never uses garlic. So if you're sensitive to garlic, don't use it. I get it. Use a shallot. And if you're sensitive to a shallot, omit it. There's so much freedom and so many options in the kitchen. So I put some pepper, some salt, some balsamic, 2 tablespoons, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and some garlic. Now we're going to add our olive oil. And because we're going to measure today, I never measure, but I'm doing it for you guys. We're going to use 1/4 cup. Gosh, that might make me finish the whole bottle. Look at that. It's a lot of olive oil, but that's the ratio, okay? 1/4 cup to 2 tablespoons to a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Now, we're not going to pour this in. Instead, we're going to take our whisk. I'm going to start whisking my dressing, and I'm going to slowly add my olive oil. Why? I want it to have a chance to emulsify. So dressing should not be thick where it's like a sauce on top of your salad. Instead, it should coat your greens, make your greens shiny, and literally enhance the salad. Yeah, we don't want it to like take over and upstage it. Totally defeats the point. In Italy, they don't know what that means. If you say, may I have some dressing, they'll look at you and they'll hand you a bottle of olive oil and balsamic vinegar, or in some cases, depending on the region you go to, lemon. And the famous opera singer who lived in Modena is Luciano Pavarotti. What brand of olive oil? Oh, Jenna, so many. I actually have an LTK with my olive oils, but my go-to, you guys can write this down, is called Partana. Partana olive oil, you can get it on Amazon. It's from Sicily. It's an excellent quality, a fair price point. I use it to cook and I use it to finish, but there's so many. I also love Letitia. Also, you can get on Amazon. I mean, I love so many olive oils. My favorite regions for olive oil, number 1 would be Italy. Number 2 would be Greece, and number 3 would be Spain. You never want an olive oil that is made in, you want a single origin country for olive oil. Okay, check that out. See how it's thicker because I slowly drizzled it in. I'm not going to use this whole amount on this salad. I don't need to. I'm going to put just enough. I think my my salmon's about ready. I said 6 to 8 minutes. I think that was longer. I'm going to drizzle this on top. Okay, we're going to mix that all up. Hang on. Let me get my mixers. I should have had this ready for you guys. This was also from Amazon. I love these. They're like little hands, and you're just going to gently mix it. You could also use your hands, okay? If your hands are clean, I can't stand when people are cooking and their hands aren't clean and then they stick. I have pet peeves in the kitchen. I don't have many pet peeves in my life, but most of the pet peeves I have are in the kitchen. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so do you see how pretty already we're eating? The color, the beauty. What am I going to do to enhance this? I'm going to take some pistachio nuts. I like walnuts. I like lots of nuts. Let me just check on my salmon. Uno momento. Oh, it's so done. Let me take it out. Okay, my salmon is done. Let it just rest for a second. Okay, I will plate in a second. So pistachio nuts. Love them. Love them, love them. Fat. We like healthy fats. I love the fat from nuts. I'm going to just take them here. You can toast them. I'm not going to toast them today, but you can. Toasting them brings out a whole different flavor. And then I'm just going to put it on my cutting board and coarsely chop them and add this to the salad. I would have loved to add avocado because it's another healthy fat. We do have olive oil in here, so I want you to think about all the ingredients we have. Healthy fat. My pistachio, my olive oil. We have protein from our salmon, also healthy fat source, right? And fiber from the arugula, the endive, the radicchio. So this is a really nice lunch. It's going to be light, but also filling. Nuts help fill us, so it's the perfect snack. I try to put nuts in as many things as possible. So here we are, coarsely chopped. Just stick that on top of the salad. Okay, and now I'm going to put this into a plate so I can plate this properly for you. I'm going to put my salmon right on top. I don't love my black plates, but I'm going to get some new white plates for you guys this year. We're going to go white. I think that the white pops. I used to be into the black for a bit. I go through little trends in the kitchen. Who else has joined? Somebody else joined. Let me see who you are. Hello, Jenna, Alexander, Shannon, Heather, David, and Kathy. All right, guys, so we're going to plate. I'm going to take any questions. This was a short nutrition kitchen today. Any questions for me? Oh, look at the chat box. That is quick. Yeah, very quick. Did you see how quickly I made this meal? And I could have made it quicker, but I was talking to you guys. So if you're organized and you clean your leaves, look at that. You know what? I'm going to eat the whole salad because I'm starving. Who took my class today? David. Heather was there. Yes, less headache than the pan-seared. Pan-seared salmon's good too. If you guys are ever interested, I'll show you how to do it Livornese style. That's with some seafood if you want to get a little fancy. You guys have to tell me what you want to learn here. Let me put my salmon on top and we're going to enjoy it. A short nutrition kitchen. The herbs are not cooked and burnt. They're perfect. They were just enough to add flavor. Put this right in the center. I have probably a little too much salad for this plate on here. Okay, now quite honestly, if I was in a restaurant, I would leave a little negative space, but we're at home and I'm just so hungry. And now I'm just gonna drizzle a little lemon. I cleaned it, by the way. You always wanna wash your avocado skin and your lemon. Hello from Ireland. Wow, you're from Ireland? That's incredible. Yes, it looks amazing. Let's see how it tastes, right? We always have to taste it. It does look amazing though, I will agree. I'm gonna drizzle, look at that, go high so that it covers the whole fish. I don't mind if I get a little on my leaves too. I love fresh lemon. And I'm gonna put a little bit more coarse sea salt. Not afraid of sea salt. This is from Sicily, just a dab, look, look, look. And I'm doing coarse because I like the crunch. I love the crunch of some coarse sea salt. I just did a tiny little pinch and I finish everything. A little bit more olive oil because I could drink this stuff. I think this is the secret to good skin. Let's taste it. And I love that question. What do I look for when purchasing salmon? Such an important question. Well, I will tell you, I watched a lot of people where I lived in Malibu go to this place called Ralph's, and they bought salmon that I wouldn't feed to my dog. So it's very interesting to me. And look, this is cooked good. I could have actually cooked it a little less if you like it more rare. But it's delicious. Brooke loves my salmon. Brooke, you're not on here, but she really does love my salmon. She always says, what do you do to your salmon that makes it so good? You saw what I did, nothing. It's that I pick really good salmon. How do you know the salmon's good? The skin needs to be shiny. Turn the skin. If it's dull and the actual meat on it is dull, that's not good. Smell it. Smell it. If it has a smell, it's no good. These are basic facts. I always when I grew up with my dad, he bought the salmon whole. My dad's a master at filleting fish. One of the ways to find out if the fish is good is to look in the eye. If it's intact and it's clear and the scales are intact and the gills are bloody, it's a fresh fish. I know that sounds really gory, but you also want to go to a trusted fish purveyor. If I go to Whole Foods and I don't like what they have, I'll say, what do you have in the back? They don't like me because sometimes they push the stuff that's a little older and the fresh stuff is in the back, but I will not buy. I don't even predict what I'm going to buy until I get to the market and I take a look at my items. So I hope that helps. Shine. It should shine. Scales should be intact, no smell. And if you find it whole, clear eyes. When I buy it whole, I always talk to it and apologize to it. Any other questions? No? Okay, everybody. That concludes Nutrition Kitchen. Kathy, I'm so happy you do the same. Yeah, when you go to the store, it's an event. Check out what's there and then purchase something that you really, really are excited about. Broiled salmon over a tri-colored salad with a beautiful vinaigrette. You saw how easy that was. This was a 20-minute Nutrition Kitchen. You could do this in 10 minutes. I hope to see you next week for another episode. I will be here, same place, same time. Bon appetito. And remember, you only have one place to live. It's in this body. Make sure you fuel it, you move it, and you surround yourself with good flavor, people, and love. I will see you next week. Thank you, David. Thank you, Heather. Till next time.